Sleepy Herman, or better known as this, from the Gummies. And well, I think it was about time I hijacked my sister's YouTube channel. You already met Space Nudes, you met Strawberry King, and now you meet me. Yay! So, my part of this YouTube channel is probably just going to consist of me drawing and ranting about certain topics. My plan is to probably draw the topic I'm ranting about, but we'll see what happens. So, as you can see, today I am drawing Barbie. I skipped the sketching process, didn't want you guys to see me scrolling through Pinterest for hours for references, but yeah, so we're talking about Barbie. Specifically the Barbieheimer trend. With that said, let's get started. During LA's premiere, Margot Robbie came onto the red carpet, or should I say the pink carpet, in this stunning black dress, which was heavily inspired by the vintage doll Barbie solo in the spotlight. And I have to say, she looked gorgeous, and I kind of have to admit, this was my favorite look. Funny enough, my fangirling over Margot Robbie's looks does tie back into my rant. So I'm actually very much against the Barbie Oppenheimer double feature thing that's going on. I do find the memes funny, I do find the TikToks funny, the whole trend is hilarious, but I am firmly against it. So you will only be catching me in the theaters to watch Barbie, and that is it. I'll watch Barbie twice, maybe I'll watch it 3 times, but I will not be watching Oppenheimer. I highly believe that Oppenheimer is literally just stealing Barbie's spotlight. I'm sorry, it really does. Barbie's marketing is top notch. Oppenheimer's? Have we seen any marketing from Oppenheimer's side that does not include Barbie? Margot Robbie has literally been killing it this whole time. Every big event, she has become Barbie. We've seen her in so many Barbie looks. She is Barbie at this point. Oppenheimer, on the other hand, not gonna lie, they did look good. They did look good in one of their premieres. But other than that, they're doing the most generic work ever. And I'm sorry, if you're coming out at the same time as Barbie, I expect you to bring your A game. Because Barbie is. Especially when you actually think you're competition. Like, I know not every studio has Mattel money, but with that said, Barbie really was slapping her name onto everything. Oppenheimer did what every other movie did, the bare minimum. But again, you're coming out with Barbie. Barbie partnered up with Xbox, partnered up with Cold Stone, partnered up with Airbnb. You could literally not get away from this movie. Oppenheimer only got the spotlight because of the Barbieheimer stuff. With that said, I'm not trying to bash the casts. I'm more trying to bash Christopher Nolan, to be honest. It just doesn't sit right with me that all of the Barbie cast bought tickets for Oppenheimer, and he doesn't seem to share that same courtesy. I'm not saying he has to go watch the movie, but at bare minimum, I think it'd be really nice if he played along with the joke. Especially because I feel even people who worked on Oppenheimer are enjoying the joke. And yes, before anyone tells me, I do know Christopher Nolan has beef with the studio producing Barbie, but come on, don't take it out on the cast. Like, Greta worked so hard on this movie, Margot worked so hard on this movie, Ryan Gosling worked so hard on this movie. Like, at bare minimum, just play along with the joke. It's not that hard. I just don't think you have the right to be this stuck up over your film when literally the reason why your film is getting popular is because of this double feature Barbie Oppenheimer stuff. Like, come on. I need you to at least play along with this joke because it's due to this joke why so many people became interested in this movie. Especially when his last movie, for all intents and purposes, didn't do very well. Like, I would argue the reason why Oppenheimer has a better chance than his last movie is Barbie. Like, Barbie's the reason. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. It's not a stretch of the imagination to come to the assumption that I'm not a big Christopher Nolan fan. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of men like him in the industry. I really dislike the fact that he says that you need to watch this movie in an IMAX theater to get the full experience. No, That shouldn't be the case. I should be able to get the full experience from watching it on my shitty laptop, if possible. Like, IMAX theater should enhance it. That shouldn't be the experience. I will say I'm still a little peeved from the whole D&D Game of Thrones thing last season. If you know, you know. So every time I hear the whole you need to watch this in a certain setting, it makes me mad because it feels fairly out of touch with people. Like, unless this movie is worth the money, I'm not gonna watch it in IMAX with how expensive those tickets are. Like, going to the theaters is expensive. Much more if I want to watch it in IMAX. Moving away from the talk of marketing and the Christopher Nolan slander, it's time to talk about the content of these movies. Both these movies are so vastly different that, to be honest, that was the appeal with Barbieheimer. It's funny because one is literally pink and girly and fun, while the other is dark, gritty, and realistic. Like, it doesn't help that both are coming with huge reputations. Christopher Nolan, for better for worse, does have a reputation in the film industry. He is a good director. And then we have Barbie. Barbie, the toy that's been in everyone's lives for generations. Like, I played with Barbies. I know my mom played with Barbies. Like, Barbie does connect generations of girls and women. With that said, I do pose the question, which movie do we need more now? It's Barbie. It's Barbie. We need the Barbie movie more than the Oppenheimer movie. There are certain types of movies in Hollywood that are constantly being recreated. Superhero movies have gotten a lot of flack recently for this. You know who else should also get flack for this? World War II movies. I am getting kind of tired of seeing one basically be released once every year. Like, we don't need that much World War II movies, considering we basically have no knowledge of World War II. These movies are basically glorifying the little knowledge we do have, humanizing people who shouldn't be humanized, making problems that are inherently a US problem into an individual problem. And yes, now I am talking about Oppenheimer. No, we don't need this man to be humanized. What he did was atrocious. Especially with the fact that, from what I've heard, they have taken out key components of this story, which, can I remind you, isn't a story. It's people's history. People lived through this. They erased the Japanese voices in the film. They erased Latino voices in this film. And they erased indigenous voices from this film. Like, these are three minorities impacted by these testings. On the other hand, we're getting Barbie. Like mentioned before, this is more of a cute, pink, pretty movie with a deeper message underneath. And again, I will argue that this is what society needs to see right now. We need the optimism or even the real hard truths from Barbie. Something that I feel the more average individual person can relate to as opposed to Oppenheimer. Not only that, but I do feel Barbie is going up against this wave of misogyny that's become, sadly enough, super common in our society. With the rise of male podcasters, I would argue misogyny's been on the rise. It doesn't help with our political climate. So having a movie where the central protagonist is a woman who is inherently feminine, because Hollywood also has a habit of girl bossing almost all their characters, which, to be honest, is also a form of misogyny. Quick side tangent. Peach in the games is this soft, very cutesy, feminine character. She literally stopped in the middle of a fight to have a tea party in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. That's feminine. And they stripped most of that nice femininity away from her in the movies. From what I'm seeing, they don't do that with Barbie. And that is beautiful. Like, we're embracing feminine stuff. You can be a girl boss while still liking pink, and that is the story we need today. That's the story that's gonna give so many little girls confidence. And not only that, with Ken, I know a lot of men are really talking about how Ken is just an accessory and it's devaluing to men. But even Ken's story is really inspiring. Ken is enough. Like, you don't have to strive to be this macho man. You can just be you. Oh no, my picture isn't finished. Don't worry, here is the end result. I'm not gonna lie, at first I was gonna do the whole, if you guys want to see the picture, you can go to my Twitter. But if you watch the whole video, you do deserve to know what this ended up looking like. Thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you guys again. See ya!